Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to start with Capricorn mid-month reading for June 15th to the end of the month for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions. It's been a very transformative period. The feminine and masculine energy balancing is the transformation right now. We have received an abundance of both of those energies in the past two eclipses, the lunar and solar. And June has certainly been a month where the connection seems to be sort of manifesting. All of the lines between the dots are becoming more and more clear. So we're going to start with Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the mid-month to end of month period, June 2021, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, let's begin. Thank you so much. Oops. Keep that over here. Okay, let's begin. Oh, Capricorns, of course. So you are requiring some balance around your rebirth here. So Capricorn, you are stepping into a new life and it's time to get on board with it. You are resisting this a little bit still. You're feeling challenged, likely because you keep asking yourself, how is this going to happen? How am I going to be able to do this? How? And it's like the how isn't really up to you, Capricorn. You've got to get on board with that concept. So you need some balance around the idea of surrender. Just surrender, Capricorn. Surrender to this beautiful energy that's coming into your life. Right now, you are on the process of understanding temperance and patience, and that, just like I just said, with understanding that you don't need to understand how. You just need to understand what drives you, what makes you feel alive. You know, what is that energy? It's a very Sagittarian energy for the Temperance card. And it's like you need to understand that it's all there. It's all within you. You don't need to connect the dots with your will. You can connect the dots with your intuition and your spirit and your will, but in a different way. It's almost like you're trying to reason this. And you don't need to reason it. You just need to sort of surrender to it and embrace your life, and all of those mental and physical blocks will be burned up by that temperance energy, right? Now, the truth behind your resistance to your rebirth, we see the Lover's card, which is Gemini energy, and that suggests to me that there is a union that you are resisting. And that union could be a part of your next phase, but you're not having it. It's almost like you are, yeah, we're going to pull some cards to clarify that Lover's card there, because if there is a union involved in why you're resisting your rebirth, then you need to pay attention to something here in a union. And if you're not in a union, it could be something that needs to heal from a previous union that you're still maybe holding a grudge against. Are you holding a grudge, Capricorn? We do that. I'm a Capricorn. Now, the action that you are being asked to take in order to become more temperate, because you are on the process of learning to be more temperate and patient and flowing with your emotions, is to release some sadness you may have, probably about this union. But the action is to release that sadness. The action is to surrender that feeling of remorse or guilt or betrayal or whatever happened in this union. It's holding you back from your rebirth. It's not worth it. This is over. I'm getting the sense that this is over for a lot of you. And if you're in a union, it might be a different one. But I don't know. I'm getting the sense that, you know, from the position of the cards here, there's a union or an idea of a union in your mind that's holding you back, and you've got to let it go. You've got to let it go. Maybe it's an expectation you have about a union. Maybe it's a certain outcome that you desire, but that's just not happening. So the action to become more temperate about your rebirth has to do with letting go some sadness and some regret and remorse and feelings like that aren't, they're not helping you. These feelings are not from they're not coming from your higher self. They're coming from a wounded ego. They're emotional. Emotions are not always facts. Feelings are not facts. And it's just your response to a situation, right? Your emotional response to a situation doesn't mean that that's the story forever, right? And it's interesting to see temperance here, because it's like you're really being called to balance out how you look at your emotions and how much you let the emotions take the lead versus just being mindful in today, right? And today you are changing. You are experiencing a huge shift in a new life. Now, the final guidance here for you is the Three of Wands in reverse. So that suggests that the initial completion of something needs patience. With the respect of all of these cards, what I'm seeing is that you need to be more patient and understand the truth behind this union that you can't seem to let go of mentally, maybe, or maybe you're hanging on to something that's just not there anymore, something that happened in the past. It's blocking you, Capricorn. It's blocking you, and we need more emotional flow. And the final guidance of this Three of Wands here really suggests to me that as you look into the future, you need to do so in a way that is more open. You seem to be blocking yourself here, Capricorn. We need you to open up in the sense of being mindful and being present in letting this go. Something has to be released here. We're going to get some clarification on each of these cards. Can I get some clarification on the Death card in reverse here, please? What's going on with this Death card in reverse? Thank you. We see the Queen of Wands. Okay, so if the Death card in reverse being clarified by this card really suggests to me that you need to tap into the idea of sustaining your creative vision through being compassionate and tolerating sort of this idea that you can be loyal and constant and warm, and to really feel that strength in your will, and I use the word tolerate it because it feels different for you, Capricorn. It's almost like it's hard for you to accept this energy right now. Yeah, it's hard for you to accept it. So at first it's feeling like you need to tolerate it. And then after that, you're going to sit with it and feel more comfortable. But it's almost like there's this, wow. Yeah, it feels like so strange to you to be so connected to something creative and actually have a vision of how you're going to do it. And it feels like you have a path ahead of you, but you're so challenged by its unfamiliarity. It's so unfamiliar for you that it's so challenging that, yeah, it's almost like the inner saboteur is having their heyday with you right now, Capricorn. Really interesting. Now, what about, okay, so temperance would definitely, being more patient with your emotions would definitely assist that in terms of accepting this new energy that's coming into your life. Let's get a clarification on this Lovers card. What's going on here with this Lovers card? What's happening? Oh, we got 3 cards popped out. Let's take them all. Okay, so, oh boy, with the Lovers, I see the Devil, so that's you, Capricorn, and the Six of Cups, which is very nostalgic, and Hermit, which is your Virgo energy, telling you it's time to reflect on this again. And reflect on it in a way that doesn't involve having rose-colored glasses or feeling like, oh, I missed that. You know, no. Come on, Capricorn. That's your ego talking. That's that insatiable desire for just pleasure without substance, right? You need to focus in on what that experience was designed to teach you. It's not because you have to return to it, okay? And because you're not, if you're wow. I'm really feeling like with these 3 as a clarifier on the Lovers, the tale of this Lovers union was not one that you may be remembering properly. Like, look at that. You've got the Six of Cups sandwiched between the Devil and the Hermit. And it's like, which way are you going to go? Are you going to go ego? Or are you going to go and understand this in solitude to really see the truth behind what that experience was designed to teach you, Capricorn? Yeah, that's holding you back. I think you've got some nostalgia, rose-colored glasses on. And, you know, if this is something that happened in the past, are you trying to run back to it? It's almost like you have to decide. And I started this reading by saying free will. So, I mean, it is up to you, but it seems like if you go that way, you're going to be blocking this rebirth and this potential Queen of Wands energy to really grab hold and help you manifest your creative vision into reality. And so, I mean, and you've got a lot of indications here that you've got to let go. You've got to let go and stay present. Temperance, to me, that's always like stay present. Channel that Sagittarius energy where you're, you know, a distant star that has this burning power and light and doesn't need to feel triggered because it's sort of beyond that, right? It's not of this world. I always think Sagittarius energy is very like, it's like a star. And so you need to channel into that. And it's very interesting. Okay, what about this Five of Cups here? Five of Cups is the action. Why is that the action? It's the action because look at this, Wheel of Fortune. It popped out in reverse, but as a clarifying card, I always take them in the upright. And so that suggests it's time, Capricorn, you're cycling into something new. You got to let this past action go. Absolutely, you've got to let that go. What about Temperance here? Temperance, yeah, why? Because it's the truth. It's the truth. You got a Five of Swords here, which is, it's time to face facts. It's time to be honest with yourself about what this was and move forward. Move forward with the truth in hand. The Page of Pentacles got stuck to my hand there, which suggests, you know, it's time to approach things and with a new idea and being gentle with yourself. Be gentle as you face this truth, but you're also needing to, like, we saw the Hermit card. You got to gather up your physical energy because you're about to start. We saw Wheel of Fortune here, Wheel of Fortune. You are going to start a new path. We have the Three of Wands here. And what is the clarifier on the Three of Wands? What is my Capricorn going to get up to with their spiritual? Oh my goodness, we see Temperance again next to the Queen of Swords. So what that says to me is that in the future, we see that the need for temperance is going to continue. You're going to stay on that pathway of understanding yourself by being very temperate and patient and letting your emotions flow, but you are going to be clear as the Queen of Swords on who you are. And your sense of yourself is going to be crystallized in an unswayable, unmovable, very strong ideal, and almost like you don't need to convince anyone of who you are because you're going to be so clear on it. And the clearer we get on who we are, the more we understand that having to explain yourself to other people is a waste of your time and energy because, you know, it is what it is and you don't need to explain yourself to anybody. And that's certainly going to come through for you. You're going to be crystal clear, Capricorn. I love to see that. Now, let's get a word of encouragement here for you, my Capricorn friend, on dealing with this union that you got to stop thinking about so romantically. It's like you don't remember it for what it was. You need to hermit down in solitude and really explore what that experience was designed to teach you, and then move forward in a very, very patient and gentle path because you are experiencing an incredible change in your life. Unfinished symphony. So there may be something that needs to be revisited in this union. There may be something unfinished here, Capricorn, and you might not want to face it. I've certainly been feeling that energy as a Capricorn sun myself. And, you know, you may feel like you just want that to be done already. You don't want to go back to this. You don't even want to go back to it mentally, right? It just was not where you found yourself. But that's the truth of that experience, potentially, is that that isn't who you are, but it is leading to a regeneration. Okay? So you are sitting in a space here where you can decide how you want to participate in this dynamic, and it's going to change you. It's going to really change you. I want to grab a clarifying card here about, I mean, there's been a lot of questions from some Capricorns out there about whether or not this union is one that needs to be returned to or not. And I'm curious what Spirit has to say about this. Does my Capricorn have to engage in this union again? Even if it's unfinished, do they actually have to engage, or is this an exercise in self-work, action? Action suggests that you may have to dip your toe back into this, Capricorn. You may have to. There may be something that needs to be done or said. Wisdom and change mixed with action. Wow. Go forward very carefully, my dear Capricorn. I feel like you are on the brink of something big in your life, and there is a huge change here that is going to require your action and your wisdom. I love that action and wisdom are next to each other here, because, you know, one without the other could lead to something that you don't intend. So seeing action and wisdom together and then change right on top of them really suggests that in order to get to that next level, this Death card in reverse with the Queen of Wands, in order to get into this change, you need to proceed with wisdom every time you act. Don't do anything without thinking about it, my dear Capricorns. Don't be rash. Don't be impulsive. This is not the time for that. Right now, you need to tap into your wisdom. And we saw the Hermit card. We see wisdom before you act. And you see the Devil card here warning you, don't act rashly. Think clearly, think consciously and mindfully before you act. For the rest of this month, my dear Capricorn friends. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. If this has resonated with you and you'd like a personal reading, I am taking personal readings right now. So my email's in the description below. Okay, take care, everyone. Lots of love and light.